Good morning and welcome to Daybreak Fraser Valley Weekend. I'm Bradley Gionet.
And I'm Sue Attrill Knott.
We're back. We've had a relaxing and recharging month away as we've retooled our set and come up with some new ideas for Daybreak that'll take us in a few interesting directions.
And just in time for Victoria Day, we have Ethan Maarhuis of Marais Tea Company to talk a little bit about some very special tea he blends, which I think is just on point as we're about to head into Victoria Day.
Which is why I brought our crown. Also back this week is Natalie Bedard with a new episode of Total Wellness, sponsored by Rivercrest Contracting Limited.
And we also have a new segment called Pet Peeves, sponsored by Chilliwack Animal Safe Haven.
Pet peeves, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Black Press Media's picks for our top 3 news stories from around the valley this week and our choice of what to do this weekend, all coming up
now.
Sue, great to have you on Daybreak this week as my guest host. We're continuing to find a permanent host, but I'm really glad that you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
Now, we've known each other a really long time.
A really long
time. You have been on Daybreak as a guest before, I believe.
I have.
And you've been on Chill TV many times over the years. Why don't you give our viewers a little bit more information about yourself? Because we have viewers all throughout the Fraser Valley, not just here in Chilliwack.
Okay, well, that's great. A little bit about me. So I am the executive director for the Chilliwack Hospice Society, which I love. It's the greatest job ever, and I've been there for 10 years. I was also a city councillor for the city of Chilliwack for 14 years. I didn't run in the last election because I needed a bit of a break, and I was thinking I might go into provincial politics, but that kind of imploded when my party disappeared. So here I am, and coming up in October, I'm hoping to win a seat on City Council again because I really miss it. And I like to have a say in the direction that the city is going. I think our current council has done a great job, but I really love making sure that we're being safe with money, and so that's. I have 2 daughters and 2 grandchildren, and I have a pretty wonderful life.
2 very cute dogs.
I have 2 gorgeous daughters. I have 2 gorgeous daughters and 2 extremely cute grandchildren, for sure. And I also have 2 son-in-laws. I can't leave them out because without them, my girls would not be happy, and they make them extremely happy. So that's good.
You have a wonderful family. You were a wonderful city councillor, and you heard it, folks, right here on Daybreak. Sue Attrill Knott is running again in October.
Well, I think it's probably the worst kept secret around. I've had my Facebook page has been up for a while, and when people ask me, I tell them because I really want to get back on council, and I hope that I am lucky enough and the people of Chilliwack will choose me to do that again because I miss it, and I'm ready. I've had a break. I'm ready. I'm not good at sitting around and not doing anything.
Well, there you go. All right, now let's get to the news this week, brought to you by Black Press Media. Actually, before we do that, I've had something that's been bothering me, Sue. It's been getting under my skin, and I have to talk to you about this.
Okay. So, is it something I've done?
It's nothing that you've done.
Oh, thank goodness.
We are going into the May long weekend. Mm-hmm. Or the Victoria Day long weekend.
Yes.
My pet peeve is when people call the long weekend in May the May long.
Really?
Really. It's really a pet peeve of mine.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's, well,
is that weird?
I promise you I won't be doing that. And I've actually never called it that because I always call it my birthday weekend.
It is your birthday weekend.
It is my birthday weekend, and every year, well, except for when it moves to the following one, I get a day off. So, so I kind of like the Victoria Day weekend.
I would think so. And you don't call it the May long.
I don't call it the May long. You know, I want to know what
one of my... It really irks me. Like, I really get upset about the May long. And so we decided that,
you need some massage therapy.
Probably. And a lot of things kind of really irk me. So we've decided we're going to have a weekly segment
Pet peeves?
called Pet Peeves.
Okay, you wanna
Sponsored
hear
by
mine?
the Chilliwack Animal Safe Haven. It's your turn.
Okay, so my pet peeve, and this just drives me insane. I become crazy over it, is the people who use the crosswalk while they're reading their phone.
Yes.
Because I think
Yes.
crosswalks are supposed to be safe, and it's like a death wish.
Yes.
Because people do make mistakes.
Right.
Cars turn at the wrong time or whatever, and they could be just absolutely plowed over. Put your phone down when you're crossing in a crosswalk.
Or while driving.
Or well, of course, right? While you're driving, you're
You say
obviously
of
not
course,
supposed,
but-
well, you're not supposed to use it. And I actually put it in the bottom of my purse because I used to be fairly bad for that. I have to say, I used to work for the wireless company, the cellular company when it first came out, and they told me to be on my phone the whole way home. So it was a habit that was hard to break. But anyway,
I would think so.
I get that. And I'm a bit worried about your pet peeve, though. I think you need help.
I probably do need help.
Yeah.
So we mentioned the Chilliwack Animal Safe Haven.
Yes.
And there is a cat that we would like to showcase. We are going to pop the link into the comments for Jasmine.
Okay.
She is a 2-year-old domestic shorthair who is quiet and litter trained. She enjoys the company of other cats. So if you have a place in your home and heart for Jasmine, check out the link for the Chilliwack Animal Safe Haven. All of the details are there on the screen and in the comments.
All right, so let's get to the top 3 news stories from the Valley this week, courtesy of Black Press Media, starting with Abbotsford.
All right, in Abbotsford, this is interesting. A new program called Project Clearview has been introduced by the Abbey Police, where residents and businesses can register their exterior security cameras to assist police in their investigations. Vicky Hopes of the Abbey News reports that registration in the program is voluntary and that individuals always retain control of whether they share their footage with the police, and you can opt out of the program at any time. Police won't have access to live feeds or any continuous monitoring. Now, Sue, what do you think about this? Pros and cons?
Well, I think policing and security and safety in our communities is not only a police issue, it's a community issue. Mm-hmm. So if you can help the Abbotsford Police, try and apprehend people that are vandalizing or stealing or doing whatever, I think, you become part of the solution. Mm-hmm. I know that there are some concerns, obviously, about privacy. So, it's a balancing act. And the fact that you don't actually have to turn it over if you don't want to, I guess, is probably a safeguard. But, when I look at policing and our security in our communities, I don't think the police are ever going to solve it on their own. It has to become a community issue. And the whole city and the whole community has to get involved in creating a safe place for us all to live. So I agree with that.
Good way to help out. Why don't you tell us about what's going on in Chilliwack?
So Chilliwack, here's something that makes me both sad and frustrated. From Jennifer Feinberg of the Chilliwack Progress. Late last week, a large-scale mural of Inez Louis, an Indigenous woman and a role model in the community, was splashed with buckets of dark paint. And the letters MMIP, which likely refers to missing and murdered Indigenous people. Reaction has been outrage and dismay with City of Chilliwack Council, stating vandalism is never acceptable, and the result has hurt a man in the community, Chief Darcy Paul of Skowkel, offering when incidents like this happen, we come together. We put our strengths together. We support those who are affected and vulnerable, and we come out together and stronger. A GoFundMe has been set up to bring back the original artists, and local business and community members that want to help are encouraged to reach out to Chilliwack Arts Council, which oversees the Chilliwack Mural Festival.
Absolutely terrible.
Oh, so terrible.
But again, the community has come together. Now, you checked out the GoFundMe
Yep.
the other day. I think it was up to $14,000
was
or
actually, I
something.
checked it this morning and it was over 14,000. And I saw that you donated. What a good man you are, and so did I. And I encourage people from the community to donate. This is a much loved mural in our community, and it really speaks a lot to reconciliation.
It does.
So, if you can afford it, please pitch in. We want to get the artist back because, it's just incredibly sad what's happened.
Completely unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. All right, let's head out to Langley. A little bit lighter note. The RCMP musical ride is announced to be returning to Langley at the end of August. A troupe of 32 riders, all police officers and their horses, perform intricate formation and drills set to music. There's a meet and greet with the participants after the show. The musical ride is performed in 50 communities across Canada each year, but only travels to each province once every 4 years. So it's a bit rare for you to be able to see them. We should go to that. Admission is $23 and money is raised for the benefit of local charities.
Yeah, I would love to go. And who doesn't love a man in a uniform?
There you go. A policeman.
A policeman.
The little white hats and the red jackets and
The
everything.
heroes in our community.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Black Press Media. Now, after the break, Ethan Maarhuis of Marais Tea. Marais Tea. We're not sure. He'll correct us. At his location on Mill Street in Chilliwack, where we've recorded a lovely little interview in the outdoor courtyard. Right after that, Natalie Bedard with another episode of Total Wellness, sponsored by Rivercrest Contracting Limited. And then finally, our events for this Victoria Day long weekend.
May Day.
May Day. All right, tea's ready.
All right, perfect.
All right, welcome everyone. I have Ethan here from Marais Tea on Mill Street.
Right down here, yeah?
Right down here.
9375.
There you go. Now, you've been on Daybreak before.
I have, yeah, once before.
I was dying of pneumonia. I missed that episode.
So I heard,
My
actually.
favorite episode. You know how much I love tea. Ethan, happy Victoria Day.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, it's, May is such a fun time. And so Victoria Day weekend is always a great time to get out and enjoy the weather, which, you know, hopefully is always nice because you always want to count on it being nice. Yeah.
I think it's going to be nice.
Hopefully. So here we are in your makeup episode because you just had to have one with tea.
I had to have tea with Ethan. We're in the beautiful wisteria, what do we call this, gazebo?
We like to
Patio?
call it the secret garden, actually, on Mill Street here. So,
Okay.
yeah.
It is a secret. I didn't know it existed until today.
Lots of people don't, and every time they walk into our cafe, they're so excited when they're like, "Oh, look at that!" And you're actually here on an interesting day because we are actually preparing the doorway through, and we're getting it all painted with a Rue De Jardin and making it look like a French door leading through into the garden. So, yeah.
Well, you have a beautiful French-inspired shop.
Thank you.
Most people, I think, when they think of tea, think British.
They do.
So we'll forgive you for having a French theme as we focus on
Especially on this Victoria Day weekend. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm curious how much you know about Queen Victoria.
Oh boy. I'll say a little,
Okay.
but not necessarily a lot.
Do you know, on May 24th, how old Queen Victoria would be if she were still alive?
That would be, I'm going to go with 260 and I'll throw 3 maybe in there.
A little much. Not,
Oh, is
not,
it an
not
overshoot?
quite so old. So she would be 207 years old this year.
Oh, 207, okay. I threw in an extra half century there.
Now,
Gotcha.
as a recipient of the King Charles Coronation Medal myself, I do have to ask you, do you know the relationship between King Charles III and Queen Victoria?
That would be through, would be his, would be great grand aunt?
Great grandmother.
Grandmother.
Very close.
Okay.
Okay, so A for effort. All right. So, Queen Victoria, tea, tell the viewers, what's the connection?
The biggest connection with the Victoria and tea is, of course, the afternoon tea celebration or party, or how it started as just a casual meal in between lunch and dinner, of course. And so a lot of people don't actually realize, and when people come in, they'll oftentimes want to talk about having a high tea. And high tea is technically dinner time. It's
Thank
at
you.
high tables.
Thank you.
Right? And so that was the working class dinner, and having tea for dinner seems so out of our scope. But for the Victorians, that was a classic working class meal.
Right.
And so high tea is actually dinner time, whereas afternoon tea was, of course, developed popularized anyways by the Duchess of Bedford, and Duchess of Bedford was part of Queen Victoria's court, and she just wanted it as this meal in between, because the other thing was is that in the Victorian area, lighting was playing a big role. All of a sudden, the lampposts throughout the city were being lit, and we had electronic lighting and light bulbs, and so dinner got pushed back further and further. And so what happened was, if dinner is later and lunch is still at the same time, you get hungry in between. And so she wanted this light meal of just, it started with just bread and butter and a cake and some biscuits and the tea. And so that all developed during the Victorian age, and then Victoria eventually kind of brought it into her, because so many ladies in the court were starting to do this practice. Queen Victoria then brought it in and started throwing larger parties of 200 people coming between 4 and 5 o'clock, and leaving between around 7 o'clock and going home for their dinner later in the day. So
History major, right?
no, actually business major, but I love history, have always enjoyed history, and my parents still to this day don't know why I didn't go into history. So
Well, I'm impressed. I love the history of tea and anything to do with British culture, and you nailed it. I'm impressed.
The Victorian age is really, tea goes hand in hand with that era of British. It was during the Victorian age that actually Darjeeling tea was planted, because Darjeeling is an area in India, and it wasn't until kind of 1840 when tea was starting, the Brits were trying to figure out a way of growing tea themselves rather than buying it all from China, and so they had figured out how to grow it in Assam and planted the first there. Those were Victorians, and then they developed it into Darjeeling, which is a really special area in India, in the mountains, and then grew crops there. And so the Victorian age and tea really goes hand in hand together. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Now, it's May.
It is May.
We have some tea in front of us. Tell us about this tea.
Yeah, this tea in May is our tea of the month. It's our Lavender Earl Grey. And May and lavender also go hand in hand, and so we always feature this one. Generally, we like to feature teas that are a little bit more, je ne sais quoi, not always ones that people think to try. But in May, we always come back to Lavender Earl Grey. It's one of our best-selling teas, and we always enjoy showing that to customers. So we're also serving it at the cafe as our selection of tea for this month too. So you can try it there.
Okay, well, we're gonna try it.
Yeah, we can try it right now. Yeah,
give it a
it'll
try.
have a nice bergamot and creamy nature underneath. We use a vanilla to flavor it. We actually use hibiscus in it as well, so that the lavender doesn't come out too potent. And so the hibiscus actually acts
good.
like a floral vanilla, and we blend the lavender on top to accent the lavender with the hibiscus. So yeah, it's a really nice tea.
Hibiscus normally gives you that real citric acidy kind of a hit.
Yes.
That doesn't happen with this. This is
No.
really nice and smooth.
Well, and part of it is because we only use a little bit of hibiscus, and we only use a little bit of lavender because we only need it with the hibiscus. But Earl Grey is already a citrus tea. I mean, it's not citrus tea in the sense that there's anything special about the tea. It's scented with bergamot oil, right? And so bergamot is, of course, citrus. And so when you get the hibiscus in there as well, it already blends in really nicely with those citrus notes. So
Well, that is really lovely. Now, you've blended this yourself?
this is our own blend, yeah. So we start with a base that we use, and then we blend in on top we actually start with our Earl Grey cream, and then we blend in hibiscus and lavender on top.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Ethan, thank you.
Pleasure, Bradley.
Wonderful tea.
I'm glad you finally got to try some.
Wonderful history lesson. Now, this weekend, celebrate Victoria Day. Come on down to Marais Tea on Mill Street. Ask for the tea of the month. You won't be disappointed. I am a tea snob, and this is by far top 5.
Nice.
Top 3, maybe.
Have you tried our Manhattan?
It's fantastic, too. Dutch breakfast is my absolute favorite from
Oh,
here.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ethan, thanks again.
My pleasure, Bradley.
We'll see you on the show again soon.
See you soon.
All right.
Tyrell.
Myself, I am fairly new to Chilliwack, actually. I moved here about 3 years ago.
It provides the opportunity to get involved in many different types of projects, not only local but also international.
I joined because I just wanted to learn more about Chilliwack.
Really interesting people.
We lip synced music all night long as the entertainment for the Rotary Club.
So we were able to provide a water well.
I wanted to make friends, I wanted to network.
Rotary has given me so much over the past 6 years that I've been a part of it.
You're one of the most organized and charities and service clubs in the world.
It really makes you feel like you're a part of something.
Hi again, it's Natalie Bedard, fitness, nutrition, and mindset coach. And today I want to talk to you about how to eat healthy and save money on your groceries. Most of us think we've got to pick one or the other. Groceries are super expensive right now, but the good news is that you actually can eat healthy foods on a budget. You just need a strategy. So the biggest mistake I see is people trying to get a little too fancy, eating something different every day. The magic happens in repeat meals. So that way you're avoiding purchasing more ingredients than you need, and you actually eliminate waste by simplifying your menu. New recipes, new ingredients, random trips to the grocery store, it gets expensive and it's overwhelming. So here's how we simplify. You pick 2 to 3 protein sources, 2 to 3 vegetable sources and or fruits, and 2 to 3 carb sources, and you build your meals around that. That makes it easier, less expensive, and far less waste. And ways to save money. You don't need specialty foods. You can choose frozen foods over fresh, and they're just as nutrient dense, and they don't spoil. So they'll last longer. Again, less waste, and oftentimes they're cheaper. Canned or jarred foods, they preserve longer. So again, we're eliminating waste. They're non-perishable, and you can buy them on sale. So look for the case lot sales. Buy the case of beans, buy the case of soup or the corn or the things, the stewed tomatoes that you like. And don't get caught up in marketing. Store brands, like the house brands in the grocery store that you go to, are often the exact same ingredients. They're just as nutritionally valuable and they're cheaper. So batch cooking is one of the best ways to save time and save money. Now you have that for your lunch the next day. Oftentimes I carry my protein over from dinner. I have it for breakfast. It simplifies. I'm never caught hungry and then thinking, oh, I got to hit the drive-through because I have nothing prepared. So being prepared actually helps save you money as well. So remember, eating well does not have to be expensive. Keep it simple, keep it consistent, and your wallet and your health will thank you.
All right, we're back. Sue, you're a very busy woman. So what are you doing this weekend, this Victoria Day long weekend?
Well, as I like to refer to it as the Sue Attrill Knott birthday weekend and Victoria Day weekend. But yeah, so Friday night I'm going out for dinner with friends. So that would be tonight. And then I am on Saturday, I have to go to a funeral for Dieter Mueller, who was a very beloved member of our staff at Thrifty Boutique, a wonderful volunteer with us for many, many years, such a sweet, wonderful guy. So I am going to his funeral, but Saturday night I also have plans to do some celebrating with some other friends, and then Sunday I'll be sleeping in because I don't get to do that very often, and then Monday will probably be all about the laundry. I'd love to say that I was doing something super exciting, but it's probably going to be laundry.
Laundry day on Queen Victoria's birthday.
I know, she'd be horrified.
Horrified. Of course, she never, ever did laundry. Ever.
But, you know, we are soul sisters.
You
because it's also my birthday.
On the same day?
Yeah, well, actually, the day before.
Wow.
Sunday is my actual birthday.
Almost soul sisters. Yeah. Almost twins.
Twins.
She would be 207 years old this year, though. So you were the much younger twin.
I was going to say, some days I feel like I'm 207 years old. So there you go.
There you go. All right. Well, we have the long weekend ahead of us. Let's walk through our picks for the best things to do from around the valley, starting in Abbotsford. Sue, take it away.
Starting this month and running every Saturday until October, you can enjoy the Abbotsford Farm and Country Market. It's a traditional farmers market where local farmers, food producers, and crafters bring product they grow, prepare, or create directly to customers. So lots of stuff for everyone to see. And gosh, I love a market. Buy and do, and even a children's playground and free parking. A nice, inexpensive way for a family outing on a weekend. This is 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Jubilee Park and happens rain or shine.
Fantastic. In Agassiz, this is the final weekend of the Harrison Tulip Festival, which I highly recommend. I did get a chance to see it during our break. It was lovely. There was a lot of people there.
Yeah?
It was wild, yeah.
Okay, in Chilliwack, tomorrow night, Saturday, it's Stars on Ice at Chilliwack Coliseum. Elvis is in the building. Yes, Elvis Stoico is still rocking the blades after all these years, and he's joined by a plethora of 2026 Olympic team members, including Olympic bronze medalist Piper Gillies and Paul Poirier. And behind the scenes with Kurt Browning's creative genius, this year's tour promises breathtaking skating, emotion, and show-stopping moments from start to finish. Showtime starts at 6 p.m.
There we go. That sounds like a lot of fun.
I love that.
Out at Hope at the Eagles Club, it's Foodie Friday today and tonight with the lounge opening at 1 p.m. and the live music starting at 7 with the Whole 9 Yards Band. So it's a great excuse to party, which we're always looking for an excuse to celebrate something.
Absolutely.
But this weekend we're just celebrating you and Queen Victoria.
And Queen Victoria. And in Langley, okay, this is kind of significant. It's the 104th annual May Day event in Fort Langley on Holiday Monday. After the parade, step through the gates and back in time for a full day of hands-on activities and discoveries. This year's programming highlights the men, women, and children whose labor kept the fort running. On May 18th, 2026, both the main parking lot and the orchard parking lot will be open to the public free of charge.
Oh, we like free.
We like free.
This is from Mission. Some of you may remember during our before times period something called coronavirus. Even fewer of you will remember my little venture into song with Corona Okie. Thanks for reminding us, Barris. Which was a Facebook sensation for quite a while. We had a host of spinoffs around the world with people submitting their best karaoke performances. So let's just say I do love karaoke, although it has been a while since I've been. But tomorrow night at the Mission Springs Brewing Company restaurant on Oliver Street, it's karaoke night from 7 to 11, which sounds kind of awesome, actually. And if you're in Chilliwack, every Friday at Kelly O'Brien's is also karaoke night.
That's probably where you hide out.
I'm going to go on a Friday night, I think.
Okay, well, that's our events wrap.
That's it. All right, thanks to Ethan Maarhuis of Marais Tea for joining us this week, and Natalie Bedard with Total Wellness, brought to you by Rivercrest Contracting Limited. If you have something you think we should share on the show, we'd love to hear from you. Contact us through Messenger on Chill TV's Facebook page. Sue, thanks for being my guest host. I'm missing Kelly, but I'm really, really happy that you're here this week. Do you think you could come back next week, maybe?
I think I would.
Oh, fantastic.
I think I would love that, actually. It's quite a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. Well, thanks for watching, and you have to say this with me. Have a fabulous Fraser Valley weekend.